securing the border against deadly drugs, signing the whole Fentanyl Act, strengthening treatment programs, expanding access to naloxone, medication-assisted treatments, and investing billions in prevention and recovery. This executive order builds on that record and accelerates it. Recovery is not a side
Welcome in, everybody.
issue,
Welcome
it's an
in.
economic issue.
Big, huge update.
Workforce issue, a family issue, a national security issue.
Come on in.
Americans recover, communities grow.
Happy
stronger,
Thursday.
and families heal.
Welcome in, Mike.
Children
Welcome in.
thrive. And when we confront
We have a big
addiction
update
with
here.
courage and
Right now we have
self-complacency,
RFK Jr.
promise
speaking.
of our country.
Take a look and listen in, and
This
we'll
initiative is about life,
later discuss.
it's about
Later discuss.
responsibility,
Welcome in,
it's
everybody.
about building a
Like,
great
subscribe.
American recovery together. With this executive order and with major announcements that I will announce next week, we are taking decisive action to make America healthy again.
Make America healthy again.
Great job.
Good afternoon, everybody.
And so his wife yesterday, and she confirmed that he's doing a fantastic job. So she's on your side, you know that, which is great. And thank you for being here. We appreciate it. Catherine, please go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you so much. Your leadership today, relative to this announcement about the Great American Recovery, is a gift to all Americans who are suffering from the brain disease of addiction. I also want to thank First Lady Melania Trump for her leadership during your first administration, and now what she's doing championing youth and children, especially related to foster care, where early trauma and instability are often consequences of the disease of addiction. Addictions touch this administration in real.
Come on in, folks. They're talking about Trump signs executive order addresses the drug addiction. I think a lot of us have them in our family. We probably have at least one or two in our family. So welcome in. He's also going to touch on, I believe, what's going on right now in Minneapolis. So welcome in, everybody. I'm Sal.
Journey became a source of hope for millions. Vice President Vance has shared his story of his mother's battle and recovery. And as Secretary Kennedy just said, he brings his own lived experience. Proof that recovery is not theoretical.
It's real, folks. Addiction's real.
These stories matter because they are
Ladies and
not
gentlemen,
isolated.
addiction's real.
They reflect the reality of the over 190 million Americans, that's half our nation, who are impacted in some way by the disease of addiction.
Absolutely.
And I am one of them. I started drinking in high school, and I was a blackout drinker from the start. For 20 years I struggled, relapsing constantly starting over, constantly trying to stay sober and failing.
God bless. God bless her.
I believe there was one single reason for me to keep living, and I was suicidal at the end of my drinking.
God bless you.
One day I was out walking alone. I didn't have faith. I wasn't religious, but something in me said I should ask for help. And out loud to no one, because it was just me, I said, I don't know if anyone is there, but I need help. And that was the day I became sober.
Thank you for the likes, guys. This is an important address here. We'll discuss in a little bit.
Thanks to him. But I was asking people to share their stories openly about addiction so we could eliminate the shame and stigma, so more people would reach out for help and more lives could be saved. And today I'm standing here in this incredibly beautiful Oval Office. And if not for the grace of God, I would not be alive today with over 23 years in recovery.
God bless. God bless. Addiction is real, folks. Come on in. Trump signs the drug addiction executive order.
I also want to thank you for allowing me to stand here with you today. I was in this building in 2017 when the administration announced the national response to the opioid crisis. And nearly a decade later, the crisis remains, and in many ways it has grown worse. Not because we lacked compassion, not because we lack effort, but because we never fully aligned our system with the truth. Addiction is not a moral failure. It is not a character flaw, and it's not simply a behavioral issue. Addiction is a lifelong, chronic, relapsing medical disease as real as diabetes, cancer, and heart disease.
Amen.
And when we fail to treat it
Exactly,
as such, we
exactly.
don't treat the disease. And we pay mightily for the consequences. Emergency rooms, jails, foster care, overdose deaths, and broken families. The Great American Recovery changes that. This initiative represents a fundamental shift from reaction to prevention, from fragmentation to coordination, from stigma to science, from short-term fixes to long-term recovery. And for the first time, we're aligning federal leadership across health, justice, labor, housing, veterans, social services, the faith office, and education around one single shared truth. When addiction is treated early and correctly, people recover.
Addiction is so real. I bet you one out of
Addiction is a generational
one person
disease.
each family.
If we don't treat it properly, it repeats from parent to child, from community to community. And when we treat it like a lifelong condition, the condition that it is, we stop that cycle. We save lives, we restore families, we rebuild communities, we return people to dignity, purpose, and productivity. Mr. President, thank you for seeing this moment clearly. With your leadership and the Great American Recovery Initiative, we're establishing a new framework and a new national response to the disease of addiction, including treatment and care that parallels other.
A president that really cares, folks. Welcome in. We will discuss in a little bit. Once again, Trump is doing amazing things, folks. Once
It is
again.
the expectation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, President Trump. God bless that woman.
You know, I saw them riding horses in a video, and they said, "Who is that?" I was talking about her, not him. And then they explained it. I said, "I'm going to hire him because anybody has somebody like you to be with. It's an amazing tribute, and it's a great couple, amazing couple." And she's very much a part of his big success. He was a fantastic success, as you know, having been one of the most.
What a
successful
brave
business
young
people.
woman. Well, brave
I saw
woman,
him
excuse me.
Campaigning, a great governor, two-term governor. He did a fantastic job, North Dakota, and he's done a great job. And I'll tell you what, Catherine's a very big part of it. I see it. It's just really one of the fantastic couples. So I appreciate it. What a beautiful job you've just done. And I'm going to give this to you, and you can figure out what you're going to do with Bobby.
Wow.
But let's have a good picture of the two of them and everyone else. And I'd like to ask Steve Whitcuff also to say a couple of words when we're finished, because he's a very special person who I knew very well, an incredible person. So if you don't mind, Steve, I'll ask you to do that in just a second. All right? Please, brother.
This is huge, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a big deal.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Great job. Steve, please.
The president is doing the same thing to me now that he did to me in 2017. You remember, Catherine?
We were sitting next to each other. Yes.
So I want to tell the story about this. So I came to the opioid conference, and the president did not know I was coming because I was invited by the First Lady. And he leaned over, saw me in the aisle, and he looked at me and he said, "Steve," and then he realized why I was there, because I had lost my son Andrew, and the president was an incredible friend when I lost him. I lived in his building at 502 Park Avenue, and I remember when him and the First Lady came, and I talked about this all the time. And so he took my hand.
Welcome in, welcome in. Hey,
and he
Fabian,
said
welcome
to
in,
me,
my friend.
"Come on up to the
Hope all is
stage
well.
and tell the world about your boy Andrew." And of course, that was, something that was really meaningful to me. But and I got through it. And I talk about it all the time. I talked about it on the campaign trail and so forth. He is a very special man, and he's begun and led the fight against opioid addiction and alcoholism. And Catherine, I feel
I fought
we're
fist bump, my
bonded
friend.
From that
God
day.
bless you. Thank you, Fabian. Thank you so much.
It's just my blessing.
17 months. Wow.
He's a special guy. And he and a group of people, Jared helped and others helped. Steve, peace in the Middle East.
Welcome in, everybody. Donald Trump signs executive order. Drug addiction is a problem, folks. Everyone has somebody who's addicted to some kind of a disease of alcohol and drugs, and that's what we're listening to. So come on in, and we will discuss a little bit afterwards.
Russia's not doing any shooting for a period of time during this.
Shout out to the moderators, Fabian, Mike, and Janine. Thank you.
So we We asked President Putin if they could stop the shooting for a week. They're being hit with proportionately the kind of cold that we're being hit. It's much colder in Ukraine to start off with,
Excuse me.
but it's really cold. He agreed to do that. We appreciated that very much. It's a nasty war. It's a nasty, nasty war.
Gambling addiction, absolutely. Thank you for putting that in there. Somebody said gambling addiction. Thank you.
Okay, don't worry about me.
Thank you for putting that in there as well.
Anything to say? Doug, you're doing a fantastic job. We appreciate it. Marty, you are really something special. Everyone's talking about you every time. If I don't mention Marty,
ABC, welcome
Bobby
in.
always mentions it. So we have a great team. Jay, great. Marty, great. You guys want to say something?
Thank you. Well, historically, with addiction, the entire society has always been reactionary. And that's been the story of healthcare. But at the FDA, we are looking into incredible cutting-edge therapeutics, and we are being proactive, giving them vouchers when we see something that's promising to get an approval as quick as weeks in an era of a 10 to 12-year approval time. And the ultimate therapeutic is community, houses of worship, addressing loneliness. And so that's part of the MAHA agenda, thanks to Bobby's. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much, Rich. Thank you. Jay?
Mr. President, in 2018, you launched the HEAL initiative, helping to end addiction long-term at the NIH. It's paid fruit. It's yielded fruit. The ingenuity of small business has developed products that can deal with pain without opioids. The naloxone, which
There's so many drugs out there, folks, that I can't even pronounce, and
the kinds of investments
this is what
that
this,
your administration
what
that you made
Trump's
starting
signing to address the drug addiction of America, and so many people are addicted to anything from gambling, drugs, alcohol, and much, much more. Turns people, particularly leading to being unalive, and
people's lives so much better,
There you go.
restore families. All of the addiction that we've seen, 80,000 deaths we saw, the huge spike.
80,000
in
deaths,
addiction
wow.
deaths, during the first Biden term, is going to be a thing of the past, and I'm so proud of you.
And fellas, some great things happening.
Yeah.
Marty, there's great, really great things happening, I hear. And some pretty big announcements over a short period of time, right?
Yeah, moving drugs over the counter so you don't need a prescription.
You're right.
Naloxone, which treats opioid, is one of those
Oh,
drugs.
interesting.
And we're being
Interesting.
proactive with
Thank you so much. I'm
synthetic
Sal. Like and
supplements,
subscribe.
opioid,
If you
that's
feel to
coming
do
up.
so, we
We're
appreciate it.
working with
Thank
The DOJ on addressing that because chemists are coming up with new opioids faster than the government has been able to keep up. We're going proactive on these new chemicals.
That's good. No, I hear fantastic things. Thank you all very much. We really appreciate it a lot. Thank you, Oz. It's doing a fantastic job. Thank you all very much. I appreciate it. Thank you, please. Thank you.
Mr. President, can you respond to the new Fox poll that says people think ICE's and tactics are too aggressive?
Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Are we gonna flip for this, or what are we gonna do?
All right, we're just going to let that linger a little bit longer than usual because
Wow.
usually at the end of some of those events, you'll take questions. No
Something
questions are
happened there.
No questions during the initial.
yeah, something
earlier
happened there
on
after
today,
the-
And obviously, eventually avoiding what's going on in Minnesota, some of the alterations in terms of that strategy. But that was the initiative, a new addition.
Actually, something in my opinion happened, but I could be wrong. Okay, normally don't cut off the press. You know, Trump does like to talk. Like I like to talk, but he likes to talk. So something there might have happened, but maybe not. Maybe he just wasn't in the mood. But once again, he was out speaking for about 30 minutes or so, or less, on the drug addiction of America and signing executive order. Folks, drugs is a huge addiction. So is alcohol. By all means, some people can control, others can't. There's a big difference between some of these drugs I can't say on YouTube and some I can't even pronounce, to be honest with you. Once again, he was live speaking on trying to fight drug and poison that comes into America, and that was a big reason why they took down, in my opinion, in Venezuela, Maduro and his wife. And Trump's going to continue to fight narcotics and drugs and poison that flows into America. We need to come together on this, all Americans, Democrat, Republicans, in the middle, black, white, Hispanic, so on and so forth, because it does take control of your life. and it almost took control of my life, but that's not what this is about. I was fortunate enough and had a willpower to eliminate myself from that back in 25, 30 years ago. But anyhow, I appreciate all the likes and subscribe. And also, make sure you have all notifications on. We are going to be discussing tonight a big live on what's going on right now in Minneapolis. There's some sources that I'm hearing right now. There's a possibility that Trump is going to take some of the federal ICE agents and depart to go where? Well, again, have to stay tuned to this evening where they're going to depart to. I've said this a few times on lives where they might be departing. Also, there's been a town hall meeting among some of the Democrats. Let me lower that a little bit. Sorry. Earlier today in Minneapolis with Liana Omar and some other representatives talking about impeaching President Donald Trump, and also that we are at war with the government. I don't like that we are at war. I don't think they should be talking like that. When I say they, some of these radical poison party that we so-called have now right now. Because when they say those kind of things, you're going to take these people like the male nurse and Renee Good, may he rest in peace and prayers with the family, to continue on and take it to another level and, interfere. But anyhow, let's hope that that's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that some of these ICE agents are going to be departed. It's going to keep some there, but somebody's going to move on to check out tonight. We'll just say this, hint, hint, beautiful mountains and ocean. But so that's what's on the agenda later on tonight. But this is a big deal here. Trump, once again, is working for Americans, constantly putting together. There we witnessed RFK and, having a panel come out special. That woman there, 25 years sober. Very, very special thing. Let's see what happened now. Because Trump always goes and asks, likes to take questions from the press. And he was almost shocked. To me, it looked like he wanted to talk and he just cleared it out. Let's see what he talks about here. Hold on.
And also earlier on today, we saw the newly installed commander of those immigration enforcement.
Oh, here we go.
Borders are Tom Homan in Minneapolis. A live picture.
They might touch on this. Let's see.
Skyline in the Twin Cities, and there is now newly issued internal guidance from high-ranking immigration customs enforcement officials directing officers to refrain from unnecessary communication and engagement with, quote, agitators and avoid inflaming the situation. So we'll continue to see any developments on that here on Live.Fox. Though, let's take you out to New York City as a vigil being held for Alex Preddy there. Let's listen to this live.
Here we go. Let's listen in. Should we listen in, folks?
Renee Good.
Renee Good and Alex Preddy.
Alex Preddy.
Pretty or Preddy?
Alex Preddy. Alex Preddy. Alex Preddy. Alex Preddy. Say their names. 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 Woo!
Excuse me.
Thank you, Maya. Just we must take a stance and we must stick up for our neighbors. There are also moments when we must be silent and reflect on how far we've come as a people, as a movement, and how far we still have to go. We're going to stand in silence to honor Alex Preddy and every victim of ICE and Border Patrol, every immigrant community that is besieged right now by ICE and Border Patrol, and all the people who are defending their neighbors day in and day out in New York City and around the country. Please lift your candles, your lights.
I'm also hearing, folks, there might be a government shutdown as early as tomorrow. So stay tuned. We'll talk about that later on. This is in New York for Alex Preddy, some say Preddy, the male nurse, ICU nurse who was shot and pronounced dead, and Renee Good. Lots of town hall meetings going on right now. The Democrats want President Trump impeached, and they want the ICE agents out of Minnesota, out of all states. And if they don't, they're talking about a shutdown, and postal service will not work, so on and so forth. Big stuff is happening right now as we speak in. So stay tuned with all notifications on. We'll be covering it.
All right, so you can listen.
There's Capitol Hill right here.
Somber moments, quiet moments, a rare kind of sight there in New York City as they are honoring the life of Alex Freddie. So a tragedy that unfolded over the weekend. So that's in New York City, and we've seen these in different pockets around
So
the
what's
country.
this is going on, folks? This is for the
impact on the immigration enforcement.
Alex Freddie. I think it's pronounced Freddie. And Renee Good. Of course, we know they were shot from ICE agents. Now, my sources are telling me that Donald Trump is trying to take out some of the ICE agents to remove them from Minneapolis, but relocate them from another state. Where that state might be, we're going to be discussing that later on this evening. So make sure you have to like and subscribe. Now, real quickly, if I could, there is talks from the Democrats and Chuck Schumer that he wants to shut down the nation because of the ICE and what's going on, and blaming Donald Trump, President Donald Trump. So there very well could be a government shutdown as early as tomorrow, which never helps to have a shutdown, in my opinion. A lot of people suffer. A lot of people depend on SNAP benefits, and of course your air traffic control. Some of those people, most of them won't get paid. So we'll keep that going. Also through today, you're going to see, like New York, what we just seen, and in Minneapolis and Portland. These protests, rioters, agitators, whatever you want to call them, are pretty much continue to grow. But the good news is I finally start seeing the police enforcement are now curfewing. Right around 11 o'clock, I noticed that the police are making these large announcements to get off the street, at least in Minnesota. Now, that's good. So they give a warning off the street, and they give them about 5 minutes, or 2 minutes, 2 minutes. And there are some who are in disbelief, and then they are arrested and put in custody. Now, I'm hearing that they go to jail, and they are arrested for overnight, and they pay a fine of $200. But what I'm hearing is the agitators are probably getting about $150 a day. So that's what I'm hearing, and they just get a rush on there. I don't know how true that is. I've said this before. When I see these young people Monday through Friday in the morning, in the afternoon, don't they work? Same faces. So how are they able to pay their bills, their rent, their homes, and all that stuff? So it makes you wonder. But in any event, I will share this. They are arresting. Last night, they took at least 15 people in Minneapolis. Hello, Barbara, and welcome in memberships. Hey, thank you, moderators. And once again, thank you. Congratulations to Fabian. Came in and said hello. 17, 18 months of memberships. We appreciate all memberships. At the end of the day, we were able to forward that money into helping the homeless like we did for people out there like Sherry, and trying to get Sherry, who's 82 years old, into a shelter. At the end of the day, folks, we really need to come together, because it is about us. It's not about President Trump. It's not about the radical left. It's not about, if you call that a party anymore, it's not about the Republicans. It's about helping Americans. And at the end of the day, folks, real quick, if I could, we have so many, I'm out there helping the homeless people along with my wife, along with a lot of other people who do this in churches. I see it. I see it, and it upsets me when I see struggling Americans with addictions like we just seen. Drug addiction, alcohol addiction, loneliness addiction. People lose loved ones out in the street, military, who fought for this country. And it upsets me that we're able to help out, other countries out before us. It doesn't matter what side you're on, whether you support Trump or hate Trump or think Trump's this and that or whatever it might be. At the end of the day, I want to see some leadership and government officials on both sides, help out the struggling people on the streets. There's no reason that anybody elderly or people who fought for this country so we can even have a live and have a dinner and a lunch and have fun in life. If it wasn't for our military out there struggling with addictions, why aren't we helping more with that? It's time to, damn it, we need to step up. I mean, if I can do it, and many other YouTubers and Facebook groups and certain government officials in churches can do it, then we can all do it. We can lift up our neighbor. We don't ask them if they're a Democrat or Republican. If, God forbid, somebody's house is burned down, I guarantee you, if you're a Republican, you're going to go into that house and you're going to drag those people out. And if you're a Democrat, you're going to do the same. However, there is some radical people right now speaking out. Something I want to share with everybody real quick, if I could, and we're going to go back. I heard this Black Lives Matters. And it upsets me that certain because I know a lot of black people that I grew up with in South Philly, and they are definitely against this, and that their lives are the only life that matter. As an Italian American who was born in the United States and family came from Italy, we were discriminated. How about Italian lives matter? How about Irish? How about gays? How about hillbillies? How about Filipino? How about all lives matter? I'm sick of it, folks, to hearing that from certain of these Black Lives Matter. You know, it's one thing for them to come out and say, you know, this, that, and it's very little who do this. It doesn't help anything. And by the way, it's not about the color of your skin on these protests. In fact, I don't see anybody who's illegal. Excuse me. Majority of these people who are protesting are mostly white, black, Hispanic, and people that are illegal here. Think about it. They're not illegals protesting. These aren't Venezuela. I'm sure there's one or two, right? Or Mexico or Somalia. So, you know, we got to stop it. When I say stop it, we need to come together on this. And you know, in my opinion, only in my opinion, whether you support ICE or not, it's what's out there right now. And simply what you're hearing from some of the news outlets that they're pulling people out of school, kids out of school, is not true. They're not doing that. They're absolutely false, 100,000% false. But anyhow, we need more love and help out our homeless people, people that are struggling here. Let's give out SNAP benefits and food assistance for those people that are struggling for the month of February, the month of March, the month of April. Give people an opportunity to get back on their 2 feet, or somebody who's suffering from long-term cancer or diabetes, who are working their ass off in their 50s or 40s or 20s, who need assistance for a while. Damn it, we need to help out that. That's what it's about. It shouldn't be out there protesting because you don't like President Trump. Because let's be honest, it's not about even the ICE agents. It's about President Trump. And when they say that they're not qualified, the ICE agents, false. They go through a lot of training, because I met one. Okay, she was an African-American woman. Tough. She's badass. Okay? And she's not even a Trump supporter. They go through training. And she disagrees what's going on right now. And she's not a Trump supporter. It's just upsetting to me how we become this. And how we become this is because we have governor, official, I continue to say, like Gavin Newsom, Tim Walz, and Mayor Fry. Those types of people are the biggest agitators, and it's becoming poison, and it needs to stop. And then you have some of these Republicans as well. Let's be honest, my conservative friends, my MAGA. Let's just be honest. There's a few of them too. So it has to stop. President Trump has an agenda and an order. He won the election because to keep the borders closed. That's why the people vote. The Democrats, majority, or more than half of the Democrats, white men, Hispanic women, African-American women, voted for Trump. They voted for Trump because they thought it was the best interest for the world to go forward to keep the borders closed. That was the most important thing. Okay, now, aside from the economy, let him continue and to take force and have the ICE, federal ICE agents, that Barack Obama did the same thing. President Barack Obama did the same thing. You didn't hear shit about it. Okay? It was done there. Maybe it was in a different format. Trump's just hit each city and state. He has a pretty good location, the DOJ and Kash Patel, where these people are. What's so hard about just taking a break and letting them take out as many as they could so people can go on with their daily lives? But anyhow, we're going to be continuing covering this. Right now, ICE operations in Minnesota. Here we go. This is something live on Headline News. Let's see what this journalist has to say.
Adoption and marriage.
So, Courtney, does this form only apply for parents who are not in the country legally and worried about being arrested?
Here we go.
Well, Kelsey, that is, one of the groups that would fill this out. But I did talk to folks over at Mid-Minnesota Legal Aid, and they have hundreds of people who are printing out their forms, signing those forms. I also talked to a family who has signed up to be parental authorities, and they say, the folks they're signing for are legal immigrants here in Minnesota on work visas.
That's the shutdown where I was talking about. Countdown to shutdown.
Liam Ramos and his father getting taken away to Texas while, their attorney says they were seeking asylum and they were legal immigrants.
We have seen them take U.S. citizens. We have seen them take lawful permanent residents. We have seen, Liam and his father are both lawful documented immigrants seeking asylum. They are authorized to be in this country, authorized to work, authorized to go to school, and have committed no crimes. They took that dad and that son It's the same thing for this family.
So, Corin, are there any potential legal problems with delegating parental authority? We know that, sometimes things can change. So if the parents don't want that person making decisions anymore, can they revoke it potentially?
Yes, no, technically, as soon as they sign that document, they have given up parental authority. But there is an agreement with, the potential caretaker that they won't do that until and unless.
Kay, how are you, Kay? Thank you for all your support.
A parent
Appreciate you yesterday on the shorts. Thank you. Welcome in, everybody.
Notice. A couple other potential concerns is that they are valid for 1 year. So if a parent is taken into custody and they remain in custody, getting them to fill out a renewal a year later can be pretty complicated. And another thing is, that the caretakers are usually the ones who carry this document around. And so if a parent is then detained by ICE as part of Operation Metro Surge here, there could be some confusion as to what to do with the kids. Now, ICE policy says the agents are
We're talking about the kids when they have to get the
find
parents
third party, an adult
that they arrest.
who could take responsibility for the child, but immigration attorneys tell me that's not always what's happening out there.
All right, Corin Harvard reporting live tonight in Minneapolis. Thank you, Corin. Well, Fox 9 continues to follow.
Interesting, huh? Interesting.
Great job there breaking down all different angles related to.
So what they were talking about is an interesting topic.
Twin Cities, of course, is going to look.
So some of these people, like most recently, the 5-year-old Hispanic, I think it was Venezuela. So they were making arrests of the father. Just because people have kids, you still got to arrest somebody who's doing bad, right? Whether they're American or legal. And what do you do with the children that are, where do we put them at? Where do we send the children at? Do we send them to foster care? Do we, depending on how bad it is, if it was murder or rape, of course, we got to relocate the children, right? Do we find the loved ones and send them back? Very tough situation, really is, depending on how bad it is. Now, most of the let's be honest, most of the what the federal ICE agents, Border Control are doing, they're actually going after these drug cartels, murder rapists, and people that escaped from mental institution that Biden let in our country, right? But they're not just pulling out any person that is from Mexico, Venezuela, or China, or so on and so forth. But what do you do with the kids? What do we do if it's something serious? What do we contact? How do they get in touch with the family member? Where do we hold them here in the United States? Do we hold them here for 30 days, 40 days, 45 days? It's not the kid's fault. Let's be honest. It's not the poor kid's fault. And it breaks my heart. But again, we got to come up with something as a nation, long term, on how, if we're going to continue getting the bad guys and bad women off the street, what do we do with the children that are 5 years old, 10 years old? Hopefully they're working that out. Today was a big day. Trump signed an executive order because drug is no joke. Addiction is no joke. Every household probably has somebody. I had my daughter. I was also, at some point in my life, we all have somebody. It's not just your kids. It's your grandmom. It's your aunt, your uncle. As drugs are pouring into this country, and Trump made a big, taking out Maduro was huge, but it's not enough. We got to take out those drug cartels in Mexico and continue to work. It was a big day, though. Trump did sign out with RFK, and he went on and said a few words. And then all of a sudden, the reporters were ready to report. Donald Trump loves to talk. And it was almost like he was shocked because he wanted to address the reporters. I can be wrong, but it seemed like he didn't expect it. And Caroline Leavitt, I believe in some of the security, eliminated it. So it was interesting. Maybe somebody was there. Maybe they were suspicious of somebody being there. Or maybe it was just they had no more to say. I don't really know, but I'm sure if something did happen, we might hear about it on X or something else. Once again, we have this ongoing riots in Minneapolis where they're trying to try to make things better. Some of my sources that President Trump and J.D. Vance are saying we're going to take some of the ICE agents out of Minneapolis and relocate them. Is it a political stunt, or is this something that he feels is the right thing to do? What's your thoughts, guys? I'll read some comments. Or do you think it's just a bluff? Because Tim Walz and Mayor Fry and Lyon Omar. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to listen and discuss. Lyon Omar, they want President Trump impeached, and they want, and I quote, all ICE agents out of Minneapolis, and they don't want them anywhere. And they're going as far as contacting Chuck Schumer, and they want to start an impeachment real soon. By the way, we are 1 day and 5 hours and 46 minutes and 3 seconds away from a government shutdown. Another government shutdown right here. This is on its way in 1 hour. Excuse me, 1 day, 5 hours there. And the government shutdown, and what I'm hearing is we all know what it's for. It's all for the Obamacare, which is shit. I had it, and they want to try to resolve it, and they want their tax cuts that they messed up, the Democrats. But I bet you they haven't worked on anything since the previous shutdown. So they're going to call it an ICE shutdown, though. Trust me, they're going to call it an ICE shutdown. This is their strategy. If they call it an ICE shutdown, and it goes on for weeks and weeks and weeks, they're going to hope that President Trump will just give in and remove the federal ICE agents. As they're also saying that the federal ICE agents don't have a lot of experience, and that's why they're have an itchy finger. I don't believe that, but I'm just telling you what we're hearing. So with that said, all that said, it's that time to read some comments. Let's see what we have here. Let's see what comments we have. Once again, thank you for liking this live stream here. Subscribing. I am Sal. Let's see if we got anything worthwhile to read here on this Thursday. All right. They're talking about something else. Let me lower that. Ardell, welcome in, my friend. Shout out to Ardell, our loyal subscriber. Trump was running late is why he left. Oh, okay. Thank you, Ardell. Thank you. You totally rock, my friend. Thank you. Thank you so much. These politicians are just playing. Right, what else we have? Democrats voted for ICE. Yeah. All right. If I missed some of your messages, guys, if you really want to get a point across, you can highlight it. You can highlight it with some donations that we're able to forward to the homeless people. If it's that important, we'll go ahead and bless some people out there in the homeless metropolitan area here in Las Vegas. It sounds like there's more townhome meetings with these Democrats who are still saying the words they want Trump to take out ICE, or they think he should be impeached ASAP. So ICE. Yeah, I think that's what the shutdown's going to be. They're going to call it it'll probably be ICE shutdown, meaning deploy them, take them out, whatever it might be. And I think it can, if we have a shutdown, folks, it's not going to be good. It's not. It's going to be bad for so many people on here and through America. It's just not the way to go. And they're the ones with the with the Obamacare that never worked out. It actually put a lot of people bankrupt. So, but they're not gonna call it Obamacare. They're not gonna call it health care. They're gonna call it ICE. It's a distraction. It's a distraction, and it's unfortunate. But once again, if you're just coming in, some of my sources are telling me that Trump's going to take some, not all, of the federal ICE agents out and relocate them to other states. But we're going to talk about that later on tonight. But it was a big update from Trump today as far as the drug addiction in America, which is awful. Awful. I think I got a report here. Hold on 1 second, folks. Something's coming in here. Hold on give me a second. Give me a second. I think we have something developing here. Something's going on here. Hold on. Give me about a minute. Thank you for your donation, Free Palestine. Appreciate you, AC Soman. Appreciate your donation. We'll forward that to the homeless people here in Las Vegas. So thank you. Free Palestine. Free them. Free them. All right. What we got here? Hold on. Is this a town meeting? Town? Hold on 1 second. Okay, so I think this is live. Hold on. So I'm trying to get a feed. I think I just heard something at this very moment. Chaos is developing as we speak once again in Minnesota. I thought I heard something. Let's see what we got here. Once again, welcome in. We just heard President Trump speak on the drug addiction and RFK signing the executive order. Let's see what we got here. This is live here. It looks like it's still cold and snowy there. Very cold and snowy. Thought I heard there was a guy on a chase. Thought I heard they were chasing somebody. Doesn't look like they're chasing anybody here. But this is Minnesota. Yeah, I'm not sure. There's some cars there. There's some people there. I'm not sure exactly. I'd be guessing, but I thought I heard a report that they were chasing somebody. Whether that was an agitator, protester. This is still in Minneapolis, Minnesota, as it's very, very frigid cold. As these people turn out every morning to about 11 o'clock. Continue to voice their opinion and agitate and interrupt the federal ICE agents. I don't know exactly what happened here, but we'll keep an eye on it. We'll keep an eye on it. It looks like there are just a bunch of people walking around. So let's see. Yeah, I'm not sure what's happening here. This is 100% Minnesota. It looks like it's a residential neighborhood. I don't know if somebody ran away, was ICE after them. I can hear some voices. Wait a minute. I'm not sure what is erupting here. Uh-oh, uh-oh. A lot of the media coverage and independent journalists are there. Viewer discretion advised. There's something's heating up here, folks. Originally, I thought there was somebody they were chasing. Police department, but I don't know. Shout out to AP's broadcast. AP, subscribe if you have it. AP. Doing a great job. What's going on, folks? What's going on here? What is going on in Minneapolis here? Oh, here we go. That's the guy's voice. What's he doing? Here we go. Nazis. Don't see any police. I don't see any police. Once again, viewer discretion advised. All right, once again, folks, welcome in. We were covering President Trump on executive order. Uh-oh. Here we go. Each and every day, some kind of a problem. What the hell? It's erupts, guys. Minnesota's erupts again. Chaos. More chaos. More chaos. Some tear gas. Or some... Well, that didn't sound good. That did not sound good there. That, folks, this is bad.
Look out! Down! I'm fine, man. I'm breathing. I'm just angry. I'm 70 years old. Fucking angry.
He's 70 years old and he's angry. He's 70 and he's angry. We have elderly people out there, huh? That didn't sound good. It looked like something hit a car or something. He's got it. He grabbed his water. You see, it's very smoky with tear gas. I'm assuming it's all tear gas. Welcome in, everybody. We were covering the President Trump addressing the nation briefly on drug addiction, and had a couple people who are suffering. As we know, they're in every family, every household. I was ready to go off air, and then I heard there was some kind of a chase. Here we go. And we got more chaos developing in Minneapolis as President Trump sources heard President Trump wants to remove some ICE and relocate them to other states. So we're going to discuss later on, but once again, guys, I am Sal. Welcome in. We're ready to go off the air, and shout out to AP. Does a great job out there in Minnesota. As reports that they were on the chase of somebody. Welcome in. Hello, everybody. And now we have some chaos in Minneapolis once again. The word is Trump was going to relocate some of these ICE agents.
Well, I have debts, but I don't.
We'll listen in a few more minutes, guys, and then we'll see where this all goes. We'll see what happens here. Hopefully it doesn't go any farther and they can make more arrests. But they do have... I'm not sure if that's the police department. Yeah, that's the police. That's not ICE agents. That's the police, folks. These are police. These are Minneapolis police. These are not ICE agents here. So something they're concerned about. Something they're concerned about in Minneapolis as we speak. Something is definitely going on. Thank you so much. Appreciate the high five. Appreciate it. No, it's over there. So I'm not sure exactly. It could just be that somebody they were going to arrest somebody and took off. But once again, viewer discretion advised. Let me ask the chat this. There's 246. Did anybody think we'd be going on with this for about almost 3 weeks now? Maybe a month? Did we really think, that yes or no? Yes or no? Did we think it'd be going on now for 3 weeks or so? Maybe a month? It's almost a month. Leading to 2 people losing their lives. May they rest in peace and prayers with the family. Here we go. Something is Susan says no. I have to say, Susan, I didn't think so. I thought this would be completed last week. So everybody's tempers are high here.
Fucking disgrace to law enforcement. Fucking disgrace.
Portland is still going, Barbara. Yes, I read reports of Barbara, but you can probably better explain if you feel like it. I heard there was multiple, over 20 arrests in Portland. Is that true? Did you hear anything? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. In Portland. They got the tear gas. They're rolling the tear gas out. They're moving in. They're moving in. They're moving in. These are police. It's heated up, guys. It's cold in Minnesota, but it's getting heated up right now between ICE agents or the local police department. Excuse me. It's hard to tell. Can anybody make it out? Did that look like police or are they agents? How do you tell? Once again, chaos on this Thursday, late January. Over 3 weeks of this back and forth and leading to 2 people losing their life. Here we go here. Thank you, Barbara. You can see the tear gas rolling around on the street. They've got the guns out here. They got the guns raised, so shout out to the reporters and independent journalists. Hopefully they're all safe out there working their tails off. Shout out to AP's broadcast. Subscribe to him. This is nuts, guys. I mean, this is every day now. Every day, something every now and then just really develops where they're going back and forth with either tear gas or taking their guns out. So now they're marching back. See, I don't know if they're marching back. What will end up happening in the next 48 hours? What will happen? Will they remove majority of the ICE agents? Will President Trump just say we'll keep a few there? What do you guys think? Yes or no? Or they remove all of them? Or complete opposite, bring more in? Reports I'm reading is he's going to remove some. More chaos. Nazis. You heard that man say more, calling Nazis. He's calling them Nazis. Somebody's saying they need a medic. I thought. Maybe not. I don't know. Thought they heard a medic. Bring a medic. The Nazis didn't even let you protest. Yeah, thank you for putting that in there. A lot of people don't even know history on what the word of Nazi means. I asked a friend that yesterday. He had no idea. By the way, when they say Nazis, they don't realize that these ICE agents are black, Hispanic, females, African American females, Caucasians, of course, all nationalities, Democrat, Republican. So, but once again, folks, come on in here. We were going to go off, and then a little chaos has developed. A little chaos has developed in Minneapolis. Once again, it's also happening in Portland and other parts of the world. And I was hearing that Trump is going to have some of the federal ICE agents leave and relocate them. But after seeing what we just see now, and I don't know how you can, but I'm not the president, nor want to be president right now. And really, imagine being an ICE agent. You know, you try to go get something to eat. You can't even go to a restaurant. Think about it. You go to a restaurant and they recognize you or something. Oh, so they are looking for somebody, right? Did you hear that?
Hand off your taxes.
So they sound like I thought I heard, and
now
they were looking
your
for
Turbo
somebody.
Tax expert can file for.
Shame! Shame! Shame!
Of course, they're yelling out Shane Pretty, or Pretty, not sure how you pronounce it. The male nurse, ICU nurse. Of course, Renee Good, the two individuals who lost their life in the recent last week or two. Appreciate all the likes on today's live stream. Thank you so much for your support and supporting this live stream. Thank you. Once again, my name is Sal. We are live each and every day, most recently covering the chaos and discussing a long-term solution. Once again, viewer discretion advised. Thank you, Paylon. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. Uh-oh. The big question is, folks, well, you guys tell me. Do you believe that the ICE agents have experience, or are they just waking up, taking one quick test, and throwing them into action? Because a lot of people think that these ICE agents do not have any experience. And I'll give you my thoughts later. Hard to see with the tear gas, huh? Hard to see what's going on right now. Completely a whiteout. Complete whiteout in Minneapolis, Minnesota. As we were covering President Trump talking about the executive order on drugs coming in America. And then this. Complete whiteout. So it looks like they trying to get these agitators backing them up a little bit. Every 5-10 minutes you'll see them go back and forth. More back than forth on these ongoing riots, protests, agitators. Hear a lot of screaming. Somebody's saying help me, maybe. I don't know. I thought I heard help. Once again, thank you for liking the live. I appreciate it. Thank you. So that's police. Yeah, I thought so. It might be a combination, but yes, they were not ICE agents. They looked like majority of them were Minneapolis Police Department. So they were the ones that were with the hands of tear gas. Yeah, these are police. These are local police departments. So now you have the police department. All right, here's an arrest. So you got an arrest here. So they're going to start arresting them. Finally, that individual will be arrested. You know, I don't know. They'll be arrested, held to bail, fines, and probably released, depending on how bad it was, on what they said, or what they did, excuse me. Said, did. That's one arrest. Let's count them. Let's see who else they arrest. Let's see who else they arrest here. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome up. Simba, USA, welcome in. Welcome in, wherever you're from. Hopefully you're staying safe and warm on this. There you go. There's another arrest. There's another arrest. He's arrested. He's in custody. So he'll be gone. He'll be going to jail. So they're taking him, guys, one by one, huh? Once again, viewer discretion advised in the background there. Love Trump. A lot of people in here in chat loving Trump. Are we still behind President Trump, or did we lose a little respect on President Trump? What's your thoughts? What's your thoughts? Just wondering. Just asking. Make America Great Again. So it looks like there's... Oh, here's another arrest. Here's another arrest. They got this fellow, or, well, I'm not sure if it's a man or a woman. So we've counted how many? 3? 3? 4? 4? Once again, guys, welcome in. Once again, hello, everybody. Unfortunately, we still have this chaos developing in Minneapolis as well as Portland and other parts of the world. As Trump spoke live briefly, looks like they arrested at least 3 or 4 subjects in custody. Not sure exactly what they did, but I do know now that the local police department, we've seen with our 2 eyes, Minnesota Police Department, that there's a big shortage there, are now stepping in, and they are now arresting people for anybody. Once they call out, please back up. They give them normally a minute is what I'm hearing. If they don't back up, they will arrest them, put them in, spend the night in jail. Now, I'm not sure how long or how much fines they're facing, depending on the situation. If they're armed, if they have a carry-on that's not registered, you know, things like that, they could be facing a long time and possibly felonies. Here we go back. So, crazy. It just goes on and on, folks. On and on. So we will keep up to date with this. My phone's blowing up here a little bit. So the reports I'm hearing is President Trump he still might take some of these ICE agents out of Minneapolis and send them over to other locations, other states, as today we had town hall meetings. Real quick, folks, there's been town hall meetings with Lyon Omar and other Black Lives Matter organizations, and they are saying pretty much we are at war with government, because Tim Walz said that, and they want their rights. Majority of these people out there protesting are not they're not illegal. They are people that are legally there in Minneapolis. Some are traveling from other states who are protesting. They have put at least 10%. They've gotten 10 to 15% now off American, out of America, back to Venezuela, Mexico, and other parts of the world. So for me, it's working. But yeah, the reports are that Trump will relocate them. So we'll stay tuned with all notifications, because we're gonna discuss that later on tonight. Because I'm hearing they could be going as far as have them go to California, because there's a lot of problems there, of course, with illegal immigrants. But again, it's continuing. I hope I'm wrong, but it's going to continue. People are going to get injured, maybe losing their lives over this. And at the end of the day, for what? That's my whole big question. And the Black Lives who spoke today, they say they want their rights and this, that, whatever, more agitators. We all want our lives, we are Americans. And it upsets me as an Italian American, it's bullshit. I'm tired of hearing that part too. Let's be honest. And I have a lot of African American friends, lots, who agree. It's just ridiculous. But you have it on both sides. You have it on all these organizations, and it's not helping anything. And all it's going to do is lead to more and more of this. And I've said this before, we are at beginning stages of a civil war. It's there, folks. And now they're talking about a shutdown because of the same old shit with Obamacare, which they blame the Republicans. Republicans blame the Democrats, as Obamacare is shit. It doesn't work. It's bankrupt in America. Their tax credits are expired. Now we're talking about a shutdown. They're going to call it an ICE shutdown. And there's going to be a lot of people who don't get their SNAP benefits, and a lot of people in government are not going to get paid. So it's just getting worse and worse. And at the end of the day, for what? Here's this lady.
Go make your community better. You are welcome here, but not this way. If you don't welcome the stranger, this ain't your place. Go home. Go home. Go. You are not welcome here. You are not welcome here this way.
So you hear it there. Paul, welcome in, Paul. How's Paul doing today? Good to see you, Paul. Certainly does, Paul.
You are walking all over it, hurting people. Go home and make your community better. Go. Go.
Somebody says, how much she getting paid, Palon? Yeah, we've talked about that. 100 hours a day, 200 hours a day, or less. People like her don't help her cause. Welcome in, David. I agree with you. I agree with that comment. Boy, I gotta tell you, she was using every bit of energy she had there, huh? A single old woman, somebody said. Yeah, she was full of energy. And full of hate. Full of hate on the ICE agents and the government. Investigation. What are they investigating? I'm not sure. Something new developed? Not sure, guys. Let me get some news on investigation. So, not sure. I gotta investigation. FBI. FBI. Remember I said they were chasing somebody? I'm not sure what happened. All right, so I'm going to put on news and see. Could you guys hear that? It's some kind of an investigation, and then I heard the words FBI. So some kind of an investigation is happening in Minneapolis as we speak with the police department, FBI, and not sure exactly what's going on. They did arrest 4 subjects about 10 minutes ago, maybe 3 or 4. Not sure if they were involved. Probably. We're not sure. Hey, thank you for 100 likes on today's live stream. I greatly appreciate it on behalf of the moderators and everybody on here and myself. Thank you so much for helping out. We are... Okay, folks, I'm going to try to get a news outlet on real quick, and then we'll go back, I promise. Because this is an investigation. I'm not sure what this investigation is. So I'm going to put one of the news outlets on, and we'll be right back. Hold on, we can't break away yet. Hold on. Hold on. Ice looking pretty good. Thank you, my subscriber, my loyal subscriber. Thank you. Tell you what we're going to do, I'm going to give it a few more minutes, and then we're going to go ahead and see exactly what's developing here in Minneapolis. Shout out to Crystal, our loyal moderator and subscriber on here and sponsor. We're going to see what's going on. If you're just coming in late, maybe you've been watching. I was ready to go off the air. We were listening to President Trump speak on the drug addiction, and then I heard in the beginning that there was a chase. There was a chase, and that's where we're at. And you heard they're under an investigation, and as the FBI has been involved. So what we're going to do is I'm going to give it a few minutes, and then we're going to hop on one of the news outlets here. Matter of fact, I'm going to do that right now. So I'm going to jump on one of the news outlets, guys. So bear with me 1 second, maybe 2 seconds. You know what I mean? And see exactly what's going on here. All right. So something definitely developed in Minneapolis, folks, as I'm going to get one of the local news outlets on that I can trust and see exactly what the hell's going on. Here's live now. Hold on. Nope, that's shit. Just bear with me, guys. Let's see what we got. Always something going on here, guys, with this Minneapolis and let's see what we got here.
With perception of her, but she also.
Hello, everybody. Welcome in. Thank you, moderators. They're on a break right now. All right, so let's give Live Fox a few minutes to come on and see exactly what's going on. If you're just coming in, some of you might be confused. Just about 20 minutes ago, we were ready to go off the air, and there was some chaos once again happening in Minneapolis. There was a chase of somebody. They arrested at least 3 to 4 subjects, had them in custody, and you heard an announcement saying we're under an investigation. Please back away or back up. And FBI was there. My phone's blowing up. I'm not sure exactly what's going on. I'm trying to read messages and keep this live going. I do know that President Trump, there was talks that he was going to take some of the federal ICE agents and relocate them to other states because of the taking the illegal aliens from other states out of the country, that it is working. However, what's going on right now, who knows what's going to happen. There's reports that...
All right, welcome back in here to Live and Now from Fox. I am Andy Mack. Coming back from break, a live look there at Chicago, Illinois.
See what we got.
City Millennium.
I'll read some comments until we see what we got here.
Now look, sponsored by 1-800-Bannery. So we're following all of the top headlines out of the Midwest. Chicago, Illinois. All right, let's continue on here on Live.
So we got.
I will soon be handing the baton off to my colleague Mike Pace for the next several hours, but we're keeping our eye right now on this live picture on the ground.
Sounds good,
Kennedy
Crystal.
Center for this, the highly anticipated.
Nothing there. So there's nothing there. That tells me that.
Of the Trump administration already.
Don't tell me much. Let's see what we got on Fox. Special report bearer. Let's see what he has.
So I won't have to
Commercial. So I don't know, folks. We'll stay on the air for a little bit longer. Once again, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll read some comments. I'll keep Fox on for a few minutes and see what that investigation was. Was it a huge investigation? I don't know. Investigation means something happened and developed there in Minneapolis. But until then, I'll read some comments. Once again, thank you all for subscribing to today's live stream. I appreciate it. My name is Sal. If you're first time here, like and subscribe and come on board. As of late, we are discussing major chaos. I mean, in my opinion, folks, yes or no, we are in a civil war. They're not going to come out and say it. We are in a civil war and a lot of hate right now among a lot of us. And it's got to stop. Hold on. Nothing. So, for me, I think what needs to happen is, just as my thoughts. I said this last night live. Maybe it'll be okay. Maybe it's good to take out some of the ICE agents if you want to beat your opponent. And I don't mean literally beat them. When I say opponent, the radical, I don't know what you call Tim Walz, but in my opinion, he belongs in jail based on, first of all, the fraud, allegedly. We don't know if he committed it, although he has come out and acknowledged, stay with me, there is fraud. But on him instigating and saying we are at war with government, and we are encouraging you to go on the street, not with a weapon. He didn't go that far, but he's saying use your cell phones, use your voice, use your bodies. When you say those things as a governor, I mean, I'll be 60 years old soon. I've never thought, we've seen some horrible presidents and horrible governors and senators. corruption across the board on both sides. But for a Mayor Fry and a governor and Lyon Omar, Congresswoman, who's here illegally, making $30 million, for them to say this kind of stuff is they're pretty much, being a huge part of agitating. And they are saying we were at war, meaning Democrats against, left against the right. And we all know that's not, we are Americans. We are Americans. All in one, who just have different views, like on here, that we need to work together. At the end of the day, it's about keeping our families safe. But said that, the anti-ICE riots, oh, here we go. Hold on.
You ever wonder how they were so quick with their printed signs and updated slogans and photos of their
Let's see what
newest
she,
markets?
let's see what the angle has to say.
Heroes, a group of professional activists renting a U-Haul, getting signs out of their trucks.
Listen a little bit. Just a little bit.
These are the same printed signs, and now they're heading to the federal courthouse. Do you know who's organizing this?
The PSL, Party for Social Movement.
Oh, okay. I'm just going to observe. Thank you, though. Which group is organizing this?
Party for Socialism Federation. We've been out here for a few years.
Well, this is textbook, and the training is getting serious. And we're seeing it in places in New York City with workshops for self-defense against ICE. They will show you tactics and how to move. And then there's
See, this is a civil war, folks. Everything I was just saying before we reversed the camera.
Mao and Lenin. And of course, like all revolutionaries, they smear and dehumanize as a prelude to the executions.
I think there should be something equivalent to the Nuremberg trials after this is all over. And to make it clear that once we're back in power, which we will be, this is going to happen. And the statute of limitations on murder is never.
So who are the organizations and some of the individuals behind all this?
Who are they?
Now, it's not just one, but a national network of socialist, communist, and Marxist-Leninist cells in the U.S. that leverage the tragic fatality into nationwide protest ops. So the Party of Socialism and Liberation, that's responsible for a lot of the protest signage. It's very active. We checked out their website, where the homepage reads, "For the party to live, capitalism must end." How catchy. Now, their goal is to destabilize the West and undermine trust in our institutions, and eventually dismantle capitalism and replace it with a Marxist communist framework that eliminates private property in favor of state-owned enterprises. And remember, purportedly, it's all for the good of the workers, the common good. Now, one of the lead thinkers behind this resistance movement is a woman named Maria Stephan. The Vermont native runs something called the Horizons Project.
Do we know who she is, folks?
Freddie's death, Stephan went on Colbert's show to brag about how people are learning to disrupt ICE.
Ordinary people coordinate a range of different tactics: protests, boycotts, strikes, walkouts, mutual aid, to
I'm not sure either,
build
Barbara.
power, to disrupt injustices, and to liberate themselves from oppression. I've got in my pocket here, Stephen, a whistle. So what people are doing is they are organizing neighborhood groups. They're learning how to intervene. And one of those ways is blowing a whistle to let their neighbors know that ICE is there and that they are there to stand with them and to defend them.
As an expert in civil resistance,
Anyhow,
she's popular on the speaking
what's your
circuit
thoughts?
these days, invited
What's
by
your thoughts,
useful
folks,
idiots who don't understand
on that
the
statement?
ultimate endgame.
What's your thoughts on that
I'm a
statement?
member of the Freedom Trainers, which is a group of trainers that is focused on supporting trainings and workshops on nonviolent resistance and non-cooperation. The training starts with a grounding in our context, understanding how authoritarianism and fascism are functioning in the United States.
Then there's non-cooperation training, the fruits of which we saw in Minnesota.
It's student walkouts. It is federal workers who refuse to obey illegal orders. It's businesses that refuse to allow ICE
All right.
on
So at the end of the day,
sites.
folks, like I was saying before we turned the camera around, this sounds like to me we have a. It's not a. This is not about the right against the left. different issues on either side, mega versus radical. These words from these, I don't know, I'm not sure who she is, but the words that are coming out of these political leaders, like Minneapolis and Gavin Newsom in California and elsewhere, sounds like to me they were encouraging a civil war. And they're just not coming out and actually saying it. We are at war. And, you know, one side is saying people like me are Nazis, and the other side, you know, it's just nuts on what's happening. At the end of the day, what we need to be doing is working on keeping this country safer. And part of that, not all of that, but part of that is taking these people here from other countries that are armed and dangerous and also crazy, and from mental institutions and drug dealers and rapists and murderers, all that above, to remove them. I don't know why it's so hard to do this and agree on this. And then the other side are hypnotized, on better words, on their local government that's, you know, coming out and saying to do it and do it and do it. Go out there and you have your camera and your voice and disrupt and all that kind of stuff. It's getting into the heads like that male nurse, like Renee Good. And now these families have no son, no daughter, and more this is going to happen. So we are on the beginning stages, in my view, of a civil war that we never thought, well, some of us thought it would happen. It's actually happening. But for me, it can be stopped. And how it's going to be stopped is by somebody to take control of the Democrat Party and the Republican Party and come together as two adults. We're not kids in the schoolyard cheering on a fight. We are saving America, and there's nothing wrong. Now, is there some bad agents out there? Let's be honest, ICE agents, probably. There probably are. But what I've seen with my two eyes, in my opinion, was not murder. They were, you know, made bad decisions. I don't want to see anybody lose their life. And unfortunately, it's because of the leadership that's causing a lot of this. And it needs to stop. Once again, before we end this live stream, reports I'm hearing from President Trump, I don't know if it's what he's doing, playing chess. He's going to take some of the federal ICE agents away from Minnesota, not all of them, but things could change, and send them to other parts of the states like California, because he feels it's even worse there. Now, we're hearing a lot in Minnesota right now because of all the fraud allegations, but something must be done, because it's going to lead to more people possibly getting injured, losing their life on both sides, and the federal agents. So it was a big day, though, for President Trump, RFK, on health and addictions, as many of us have addiction in our families. And it's not just your children. It could be one of us, your grandparents. Some of you discuss, you know, of course, gambling is, but they were talking more like alcohol and drugs. As we help out the homeless on here, I see so many people in their 60s and 70s and 80s, 20, all types, all nationalities, laying on the streets in Las Vegas, in California, excuse me, who have these drug addiction. And at the end of the day, folks, it's about saving Americans. We are all Americans, don't matter if we're white, black, Hispanic, and gay. Democrat, Republican, Independent. And it is about us. And that's why Trump is doing this. Why can't we understand that? Why can't people just understand that it is taking these bad people away so we can work on our mental illness, homegrown right here? That's it in a nutshell. I've been talking about this every day, every time we come on live. But it doesn't seem like it's going to get much better. Hey, guys, I want everybody to hit the notification if you're enjoying the podcast. Once again, I'm Sal. We continue to help out the homeless here. I do got to go out, and speaking of homeless, I got to get a little something to eat and go out and run and help out the homeless today. In the next few minutes, I will be back on this evening. If you want to come on, we appreciate it. If you can make it. If not, I will see you great people on the next days to come. But again, she'll be back on this evening talking about more of this chaos and what's developing among, for me, let me be the first to say, it's begun. It's sort of like a civil war, but let's hope we can put that out. I'm out of here, guys. Have a great rest of your evening. God bless. Thank you, moderators. Love yous all. Thank you all so much for your support. Take care.